we are reaching to the assigned time for this semi-plenary. But as we started 15 minutes earlier, 15 minutes later than the original schedule, I'd like to propose 15 minutes extension of this session. And when I say this kind of thing, I have to look at the face of the conference organizer, but as I cannot see the face of the conference organizer, I think we can go for it. So we have 15 minutes for discussion. Thank you very much for very nice presentation from different perspectives. Now we'd like to take questions and comments from the floor. And maybe we go first round and get back to the panelists, and then hopefully we go to the second round. So I see Stana and Volker and Kari and Peter and here. So 5.
They were very interesting presentations, all of the presentations, thank you for them. But I missed one thing. I was in Rio, and I saw the dialogues for sustainable development as the most important innovation, especially in your presentation, John. I never heard anything about this, because the dialogues involve wide discussion throughout the world, and voting and everything, and they really presented alternatives. And whatever happens to all of that, we were promised that this would be taken to the negotiators and that this would be taken into account, and not even in your UN document. And remember, it was a proposition of the Brazilian government, but it was endorsed by the United Nations, and it was carried out throughout the world by universities and things like that. So I'm really surprised and deceived not to have heard from it. Susanna Vieira from Brazil.
Thank you. And if you have a particular person to address the question, please identify the person. And Marcel.
Should I repeat or give a... So, how do you think what kind of political processes can make SDGs work in industrialized countries especially?
Thank you. And Volker.
For me, our question arises, ideally the SDGs would be complementary and they would fit ideally together. But in reality it might end up perhaps like the MDGs, that they are quite contradictory with regard to different aims and different goals and sub-targets and so on. And I just wonder in how far these potential future interactions of the future SDGs should be already discussed and thought about during the creation of the SDGs, or should, like now there are quite many proposals already out there for future SDGs globally or sectorally. The ODI is, for example, collecting on the webpage already many proposals. There are about 100 now on the webpage. So how should the trade-offs be thought about already during the creation of the number of SDGs, of the SDGs as such, or should it be just that already for the time afterwards? So we have a set of SDGs, and afterwards we again think about how we deal with trade-offs. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi.
Okay, does it work? Yes. Thank you for a very interesting panel. I have a question to Vic Vergara's presentation, which I thought was very interesting. I sensed a certain disillusional pessimism with the planetary boundaries concept. And you argue it's an important scientific concept, but it doesn't work in politics. At the same time, you argue that we need to rephrase the planetary boundaries concept so that it can be a useful concept for policy. So first, could you develop how that reframing should look? to make it more, for example, more human-centered. And if we made it more human-centered, would that reduce the function of the concept to be a kind of planetary emergency? This was from the Global Environment Change Committee. Secondly, I wonder, do you think reframing is the main issue here? Or does it have substantive problems, the fact that it didn't make inroads? We have many scholars here in the room on politics or scientific expertise that would predict that it, or not surprised by the fact that it didn't make inroads in the Rio +20 documents, that this is part of normal international affairs where politics comes by science. And what was science? Jet lag. Yes. And so it would be interesting to develop, if you could develop how you think about the rephrasing of planetary boundaries.
Thank you. And Edith?
I have a very concrete question, which is, what is it that we're talking about here? There is, the GA agreed that we need to have some set of post-MDGs, but how many of those are we talking about, and are they all supposed to be SDGs, or is it a broader list of which some small number are going to be sustainable?
Thank you. So, shall I get back to the panel? And please try to
I'll be really quick, yeah. With regard to the Sustainable Development Dialogue,